In this video, we will be talking about how to modify the field setup for boards. Now, the methodology to do this is the same for CRM, project, work, and share boards. For this video, we're going to try using the CRM. Once you have created a board in CRM, head over to Field Setup. You can do so by clicking the Option button and clicking Task Setting. The CRM is located at Groupware and CRM. So, let us begin. By pressing the Task Setting, you can press the Field Setup. Here, you're divided with Top and Editor. The Editor part is where you enter the data. So if you will be focusing on the top part, click the top part, and here you can add or delete fields. By pressing Add, you can add elements like text types, number types, yes or no, date types, code types, and slip types. Once you've added them, we will be looking at it one by one. The progress status is the first one. You can divide up the board's posts based on the progress the posts are in. By clicking the progress status button, you can click the progress status settings. Here, you can add new progress. I've already added in progress and completed. Simply, when you click new, add a progress status code and progress status name. Add the detail like I did and press save. Now, the default on confirmation settings lets you decide what kind of progress the post will be upon making it new. I'll be setting it to new. As for the list tab settings, you can always switch around the order by dragging and dropping them, and if you do not need it, you can right click it to hide it. Here's what it looks like. As you can see, the CRM board has the progress status like I aligned it. Next is the title. When you click on a title, you can change the display name much like the other fields too. So the title of the post. If you would like to attach files, you can use the attachment. And if you'd like to set up a finish date, you can use the finish date as well. The to and the to department, CC and CC departments, you can use to send it to specific people. The post authorization lets you decide who can edit or delete or modify. By clicking on the initial value settings and setting it to manually, you can decide who can reply or view others' reply or modify or delete. For instance, if you only want the to modify, then click like so. Apply and save. Now you can also set up a post password so that you need to input a password upon modifying or deleting it. And I will now talk about the other elements that you can add. Let us begin with cPortal. A customer portal is used when a vendor using a customer portal which allows the user to create a sales order. And you can share that data using the board. So if you need to share any post to a cPortal user, make sure to include this field as well. Now, if you would like the pick to be specified automatically when you select a customer, have both fields enabled. And when you press the pick field, make sure to click the auto change settings. Set it up like I did right now. Make sure to press the load info, and for the pick code, choose the one that's beneath customer vendor. Make sure to save it. If that's done, this is how it looks like. by entering the customer, the pick is automatically matched. Next, let us talk about text types. Much like the other field names, you can change the display name, and you can decide whatever short message you want to input in the text type. The same is applied to numeric types. You can add a small amount or a quantity based on what you need. As for the date type, you can use it in varieties like an ending date. So when you use the change value when saving settings, you can use a formula like I did. So press formula and press settings. Double click and set up the target field to today. And as for the type, you can choose before and after X amount of days. So this means that by saving the post, the date is automatically added by 8 days for this particular field. Here's what it means. By clicking on the title and adding the element, we can see the finish date and look at the date type. By saving the post and referring back and modifying it, we can see the date has been automatically added. Now, furthermore, you can add an initial value. Here's what it looks like when I set the initial value to load the information of today's date. Here, when we press a new post, you can see the date is automatically added. Now, the next one is a code type. If you repeatedly use a code that you can select quickly, you can set it up like so. Press the magnifying glass, press new to add a code and the field name. Upon doing so, you should look at the right hand side and add the codes that go within the field names by pressing new. Add the code and the field names. So for this one, I already made a potential customer that have teenagers, young adults, and elderly as the codes. So make sure to click it and save it. I will show that in the new post. Here at the new post, when you click on the code type, first option of the three, so teenagers, young adults, and elderly. Instead of typing it, it might be easier for you to use a code. The last one is a slip type. By clicking on the slip type, you can load a post from another board. What it means is, when you click the magnifying glass, you can choose other boards. By looking at the left hand side, you can see that I have a consultation log board. So if I click on the consultation log board and click save, that means I can load a post from the consultation log board. As you can see here, when I select the slip type, it shows up the consultation log and I have selected the post from that board. Finally, the fields have a requirement status settings. If set as required, then it won't save when the data is empty in that field. This concludes the guide on how to do a field setup for the boards. However, since you have made the field setup like I did, it does not mean that it will be shown in the boards. By heading back to the boards, you have to make sure to go to Option and Input Screen Setting and press Settings to add the fields that have been inserted at the field setup. Otherwise, it won't be seen.